Hey everybody, Dr. Charlton again. I wanted to go through a quick systematic review with you. I have a client who is a tree service based in Arizona. They're really panicking right now because apparently everything is kind of shutting down and they're worried about whether they can stay in business. So I came up with the idea that they need to have a cool like channel where like everybody's shut into the house. And you could send another email like everybody's sending, all these companies are sending, like saying how you wash your hands and how you're really careful, you wear a mask, you stay 6 feet away, whatever, to kind of reassure people. But it's actually kind of just like noise at this point because everybody's sending those kinds of emails. Okay, so what I want to look at is how can we show we care? And so what we decided is we need to make a show for shut-ins, so that people really care about their trees. So why not have Dan, our owner of this tree service, talk about, how he feels about trees and how he does tree care and all that kind of stuff. It's just a special interest kind of thing, a simple thing. It's not going to be competitive at the national level, but just locally, they want to have like really good local knowledge. And tree care is very localized because of different climates and different temperatures and all that kind of stuff. So that's our plan. So what I need to do though is kind of look and see how viable this is, like how many people are there that are into this kind of thing. So I'm going to do kind of a systematic review. So first of all, I think I'm going to go on YouTube and see what are the big tree channels. So if I so I'm going to do a search for care tips. Let's see. And I have Smiling Gardener, Steel. So they're a chainsaw company. Wonder if there's any arborists though. How to grow apple trees. A money tree guy. Yeah, I don't see any arborists. Maybe if I put arborist in the name. Arborist is like somebody who trims trees professionally, although they probably call it pruning. Okay, this guy is kind of an arborist. Let's see what he says.
G Suite helps my team work smarter and faster.
Skip
For
this.
example, I can open a new document and start.
Sad.
How to properly prune your tree. My name is Mark Russell with 770 Arborist. I want to talk about a few pruning techniques today.
So he's telling people how to properly prune your tree. He has 108,000 views. I'd be interested to know how many of them are local. He has a 770 area code, 770 Arborist, it looks like. But I think that might be Atlanta. Is that Atlanta? That is Atlanta, ATL. Boom. All right, so he is Atlanta based. So his name is let's get his YouTube channel. His name, subscribers, link. Okay, so I'm gonna put it right here. Actually, that's the link as well, so I'm just gonna delete this column if I can get the link in there, right? Because if I click on it, then I click again, I have the link. So let's get the subscriber count. There's 1,830 approximately. Okay, let's see, what else can we learn about this? So he has 97 comments on one thing. I'm going to see how many videos he has on this channel. What's his posting frequency? All right, so I'm going to pick a period, I guess. I'll just see how many he has posted this year, maybe less than a year. All right, so this is 11 months. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 videos within the last year. So we'll say that equals 14 over 12. So this is a monthly. We'll say we'll call this a monthly posting frequency. Or would it make more sense to do a weekly? So if I could do a weekly because we're looking at doing we're looking at doing a weekly thing. So 14 slash oops. Okay, so the weekly. Okay, so he posts less than, he posts a fourth of one a week, basically. Let's see if we can find out what's the most engaging stuff. If we can sort by most popular, and that will give us some clues. And that's more data I can add in here, another column. Okay, arborist tips on how to prune your trees. So that's number one. Guessing that's because it's number one because that's what people search for. How to stop tree stump from growing back is apparently number two. See, number three, when is the best time to prune trees? See, these are things that people are searching for that show up. So the video shows up because people are actually looking for it. People type that in YouTube, like, when is the best time to prune trees? And then they pop up. And also in Google search. So YouTube videos pop up in Google search as well. So we have some of the most popular posts. And then let's, for the medium, we'll say YouTube, because there's probably some other channels we're going to find elsewhere. So we have some ideas. We have, so I have the start of a systematic review, right? Let's see who else we can find that's another arborist. Let's see. I wonder if I subscribe to this, it will recommend. No, it doesn't give me any recommendations. I would love it if they would give me recommendations for others that I could follow that are similar, but I might be on my own finding that. So I'm going to go ahead and go back, do another search. It's nice if you can keep doing a consistent YouTube search. So I can't really remember what my query was exactly. So I'm trying to go back a bit. Tree care tips, arborist, that's what it was. So Arbor Day Foundation. So he was an actual arborist, which is our target. We have a tree guy. We want him to do his own like video content. This is interesting because this guy is an arborist, but his video is how to bid tree work tips. So he's pitching his video to other arborists. So we want to make a more customer-oriented one, so we might skip that. Let's look at Balmer's. Again, this is directed at arborists, so how to become a certified arborist, basic training. A lot of them are directed at other arborists. We want a customer-oriented one. So let's look at Balmer's tree care, see what that's about. They seem to have made a documentary.
Number of days, the description of that you must provide these things, and yet
this is actually super cool and a little bit intimidating because imagine trying to duplicate this content, or trying to beat this content. They've made this cool kind of documentary with all this cinematography and beautiful angles and lighting, and we're not going to be quite at that level, but we're going to sort of make a note of this channel. And they probably do have some videos that aren't at that level. We'll see. But I'm gonna sort by most popular. And it may not be their cool documentary that comes up as most popular, because it depends on what people are searching for, right? So, all right. So I'm gonna I need a different link. I need to get the channel link. So I'm trying to be consistent. And the channel link apparently is on the video itself before you come into this. Okay, so let me try to grab this right here and see if that'll be my channel link. There we go. Subscribers, how many they got? Have to click on it to see. Now I can't find the subscriber count. So I'd want to fill that in, obviously. Weekly posts, they're right at 0, right? So this is probably going to be, this is something they could get deleted from this data set, right? Because there might be others that are more higher priority. But let me go ahead and click on all their videos again. And I'm going to sort by most popular. See what kinds of things people are searching for. Okay, that cool documentary they made is number 1. So Bomber's Tree Care, A Day as an Arborist. Okay, so, you know, again, I want to go through systematically and find all these arborist channels that are more like customer oriented and get all the stats. Okay. Let me get one more. Let me see if I can. One more. I mean, I need 3 lines to have a real data table, right? That guy's not an arborist. Again, a lot of these channels are directed more at each other. They're marketing to each other, which is interesting because they don't really make money off of each other, but they're just a helpful community. They just want to help each other out. Where I'm like, oh, we need to get customers. So obviously I want a customer facing channel. Here we go, Urban Tree Alliance. This is another arborist channel. Hold on, let me go back before I do this. I need to get the channel link. So I'm going to copy. They have 500 subscribers. So go into their videos, sort by most popular. Apparently they only have 4 videos and they're all very old. This large tree pruning was popular, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in here. So one thing to note is these companies, even the successful channels, are kind of giving up on this. I suspect that is because they're not making money on it. So probably a lot of this content is being viewed by people outside of their market who are not going to actually be customers, right? So that's going to be problematic. It's going to make you wonder if you should, continue with this or if there's any point to it, right? So, hold on. So I want to format this. Let me go ahead and see. Okay. Honestly, I just want, so difficult. I just want to say 0. Perfect. Okay, so I'm just cleaning up the formatting here, getting this ready to be a table. These all have gray background because I copied it from YouTube. So I'm going to see if I can get rid of that background, that formatting. And I'm kind of narrowing these columns. Okay, now I'm going to hide my grid lines. Now I'm going to underline this guy, put a line at the bottom. I'm going to, let's see, these numbers are all smushed here, so probably, let's see, what should I do about that? I think I need to left justify the numbers. I don't know why they're right justified, but I'm just going to make sure everything is left justified. So it'll be nice and clean. And then I can also, it's aligned on the bottom. I can align it on the top or the middle. That's the middle right there. That's the top. I think top is the cleanest, but the middle is maybe easiest to interpret. So I have a systematic review here. I've only gone through about 3 tree channels, and I wish I had some better data here, honestly, but maybe there's just not a lot of this. So my goal, right, is I'm doing a systematic review to try to see who the competition is, who we can get good ideas from, how we want to model and do our, our tree channel for Dan the Tree Guy, or Dan's Tree Show, or whatever we want to call our show, our little show. It's just like a simple little either Facebook Live or YouTube show. We want to target local, so I'm really leaning towards making it a Facebook live kind of show, because I think on Facebook it will be easier to target the local crowd, if that makes sense. I'm just going to make it so all these can wrap. Okay, so that it can be nice and clean. So I have a nice clean table that I can drop into my report. This is a systematic review. If I had more data or better data, as well as doing a table like this, I could do a chart to show, you can imagine it could be cool if I could show like how many, the relationship between post frequency on the x-axis and number of subscribers on the y-axis, or if, something like that, you could do a chart like that to include, or you can just do a table if that's the most relevant. Data tables are really useful in a lot of cases. So again, this is a systematic review. I'm showing you this, of course, because for your client, you're going to need to do a systematic review. Don't just say like, oh, I looked at a bunch of YouTube channels and this is what I saw. Instead, give the table, give the data so that they can look at it and arrive at the same conclusion that you arrive at. And when you actually, when you actually include this, you might have some point that you want to make in it. You might want to say like, your argument might be like, hey, most of these YouTube channels are not even active anymore. And then you could just highlight the 2 zeros, or the however many zeros there are, however you want to do it. I mean, you just highlight stuff you want to call attention to, right? Again, this is a systematic review, and when you do a systematic review, you also want to include your methodology. So I would probably say in this, before this, like in a footnote, like in my slide, I'll put a footnote that says data collected from YouTube searches, and then the date is, I think, March 20th, 2020. And then I'll give my actual queries. Tree care tips, arborist, or whatever, and then you can list your queries there. And I don't want it to wrap. And so this is going to be like kind of a footnote on your slide, so that when people look at that, they could say like, oh, I could go on YouTube and do a lot of these same things that you did, or explaining that you did, and I could kind of come up with the same results. So the results are replicable. So this is a really good deliverable to give your client, right? Because then they know how you arrived at these conclusions, why you think these are the important YouTube channels, why you think the competition is low or high, whatever you want to argue, you have, all the data. So again, this is systematic review. This is like the opposite of just being like, well, just giving your opinion, basically, right? You don't want to put the client in a situation where they feel like you're just giving your opinion, because they have opinions. They have, everybody has an opinion, but it's not really helpful unless you have like some strong reasons for making this argument. So I suggest you do any data reviews of websites, SEO, even design. Do it in a systematic way. There's always data that you can extract, right? Like even if you compare the look of websites, there's got to be features on these websites that you can list in a data table. So make it systematic, and then, follow guidelines laid out in earlier preps on data visualization, how to visualize your data, and also on crafting a logical argument. Go back and review that stuff so that you can make a really solid case for your client about, what the data is and how you feel about it and stuff like that. So this is, my quick and dirty systematic review. If I had more time to spend on it, which I would probably likely spend hours on this, I would look at a lot more channels. I would look at other media besides YouTube. I would look at Facebook Live, since that's really probably going to be my target. And, I would be collecting all this data and putting it into a cool chart for the client. So that's all I have for now. Let me know if you have any questions about that. I hope everything makes sense. Thanks.